Welcome to Northeast Only Ironman, where we can only path northeast. There's four cardinal directions, and the world is an expansive place. But we can only use two of the four cardinal directions. We cannot pass south or west, and we are an Ironman, which that means that we can't trade people either. Now, these are pretty significant restrictions that we have to work around, and later in the series I'll hash out some of the specifics, but for now, just sit back and enjoy. This is Northeast Only Ironman.
Love. Hey, love. Love.
Don Gotti did that. He did that.
I'm a Northeast baby, bitch. I swam too cold. I got 3 different numbers like an area code. I'm sharp with these niggas cause they selling.
Welcome to Northeast Only Ironman, Episode 1. I want to briefly go over the rules while I can. So I cannot pass south and I cannot path west, and this restriction only applies to the normal player pathing. It does not apply to things like teleports, and I can also fire make, etc. The second rule is that I cannot use PvP worlds. That should be self-explanatory. The third rule is that if I ever accidentally if I accidentally do path south or west on accident, then I have to drop my entire the whole inventory on me and all my items that I have equipped. I have to drop all of them, and then I have to immediately home teleport back to Lumbridge. However, what if my home teleport is on cooldown, you might ask? If the home teleport is on cooldown, then what I have to do is I have to log out, and then I can log back in later when I can wait till the cooldown. I can wait the 30-minute cooldown, and then after I log back in and it's cooled down, then I have to home teleport. So let's get right into it.
So I'm going to be speeding this up quite a bit just because, it's the early game. Started the account as a hardcore Ironman, not because we really plan on keeping the account hardcore throughout the entirety of the series, but just because through the early game, basically until we get the Barb Assault minigame, the account's actually a little bit soft-locked when it doesn't respawn with an accident tinderbox. So for now, we figured we'd keep the account a bit of a hardcore, just kind of for the fun of it. So right now I'm just kind of chopping logs and burning them to sort of push the account west. This is definitely a big part of the early game movement. It's not really the entirety of the account. Like long term we'll get better access to westward movement through stuff like...
So you guys are probably wondering, who is this strange character narrating the Northeast Only account clips? And I wondered that too when I first saw these clips. It turns out it's this guy named Happy Frappy, and I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video, this is actually a group Ironman. This is actually a beta test for the new group Ironman, so we will be playing this Ironman as a group, taking turns. A lot of people actually. So this is Mason. I'm just gonna let's just get back into it.
But for now, it's just kind of a lot of woodcutting and fire making, so that's why I'm speeding up these clips and I'm kind of cutting through the sections that are just world hopping in front of a tree. So this is the first attempt to get to Varrock. Basically, as you can see, I'm kind of going through, finding a tree, filling my invent, and sort of moving on. This has definitely been a learning process. It's like on this first run here, I get stuck, have to start over. Did not know you couldn't path through that wall. I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's like a solid object, but that was the first hour of the account. Run number 2, I'm testing things out using tile markers to see if I can sort of scout ahead. It's definitely nice at this point the account can cut oak logs, so it's a lot less world hopping, but it's still pretty tedious chopping. So I tried to go up here, and then this is where you can kind of see where I zoomed out there. This is kind of where we run into the first issue. which is that we can only really path around objects by going north of them. So kind of every tree that's in the way just means we have to go more and more north. And there's only like a limited amount of that uh, before you end up in a place where you're stuck. So yeah. Anyway, on the way trying to enter Varrock, this time through the west side instead of the middle, I stopped at this clay spot. I figured this would be a good time to get some early mining levels, so I ended up staying here till 15. And then I started fire making again over here, and then this is where we run into the second big thing. Kind of mentioned it earlier, but invent space was a big issue. So like this part would have technically been possible if I didn't have as much stuff in the invent, but right now I'm really trying to get that small fishing net into the bank. I didn't want to drop it early game because I wasn't really sure how we were going to get it back and like what the plan for fishing would be, so kind of wanted to be safe about it. A little bit defeated, I went and just continued doing some mining, and this is kind of when we decided we'd end up bonding the account.
Okay, I know I'm interrupting, but I just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Fruit Deeps. They made this all possible. Fruit Deeps is a non-profit organization. They're just go check out, link in the description. Go check out go to Fruit Deeps,
You know,
www.fruitdeeps.app,
it, it was good to kind of start
and
out in free to play and
you
get
can
sort of a
calculate.
idea of what the actual
you'll
account
like
progress
it.
would be like,
It's
but
just good.
unlocking members was going to unlock a lot more potential opportunities, including just the skill of thieving to get coins, which after kind of scouting around the map, sort of figuring out what I wanted to do next, kind of jumped straight into thieving. So I used an alt to lure the man over and get it stuck on me. Um, it was just a little bit awkward, like standing there, like waiting for it to path to me, and then like half the time the man's still moving, so you'd end up getting dragged if you just did it normally. So used an alt to trap the man, and I stayed here, just kind of on the the place that you get for home teleport up until started to just run out of HP. So then, after running out of HP, kind of moved up here to this bar, because there's a shopkeep over there that'll sell you beers. And I had this kind of interesting setup where the alt is splashing on the man to keep it next to me. He's standing under the bartender, so I can still get to the beers and drink them. So I ended up just staying here to thieve, because the setup was a little bit awkward. I wanted to get like at least 500 coins. You can see that's getting level 5 thieving. I don't really know if we can get to any of the stalls to train thieving, so I just ended up staying at men to get more coins. 500 coins are going to be important for us in the early game just to get access to the Django class, which will help a little bit more with basically a different fire making technique that we'll implement a bit later. So right now, kind of just looking at the map, sort of trying to figure out what comes next. I thought it'd be cool to go up there to the limestone to train some early crafting, but it turns out you need like 12 crafting to actually train the skill there. So that didn't work out, but oh well.
Thank you, Hampy Frampy, for that beautiful journey. I am going to take over and I'm going to attempt to go where no man has gone before. Specifically, I'm going to attempt to go where Hampy Frampy has not gone before, and that is the Varrock West Bank. Now, this is one of the first major hurdles on the account, is simply finding a bank, because we do not have a very easy method to access the bank yet. Hampy Frampy, he tried to make it all the way up to the bank, however, he was a few locks short on a few tiles, so I am going to walk you guys through how we have to access the bank on this account for now. Okay, so we're just gonna start out by heading obviously north and east. We're just gonna path ourselves out of the okay, let me think. Okay, it appears I think I'm stuck on this tile, but that is not a big deal. I can just simply wait for my home teleport to cool down in 30 minutes, and then I can teleport back to the center of Lumbridge, so I will see you guys then. No
Oh my god,
shot.
hell yeah, dude.
No
Fuck.
shot, no chance. I did it.
What
No
account on
way.
what? I don't get it.
We got it. We got it.
Okay. Yeah, he's in the bank, man.
Wukek, we got it.
I don't care, man.
Oh my god. Okay, that
Oh,
was pretty
wow.
good. Thank you for watching this episode of Northeast Only Ironman. This has been a journey, and we have accomplished a lot, and we have made it all the way across the map and have managed to bank, first ever bank on the account. All of us working on the account, you know, we've put a lot of effort in, a lot of theory crafting. This has meant a lot to us, just the entire journey, and I thank all of you for sharing this journey with us. Stay tuned for the next episode. It should come out soon, and we will be trying to accomplish even larger tasks and make it to even. We gotta make it even. The places we'll go and the things we will see. Stay tuned for the next episode. Episode 2 is coming out soon. Make sure to like and subscribe. Smash that like button, or subscribe if you want to. This is Northeast Only Ironman.